Hey there, and welcome. So, companies today are sitting on, well, mountains of information about all of us. But here's the thing, just having all that data is one thing. Actually understanding it, that's a whole different ballgame. So today, we're gonna dig into how they make sense of it all to get a better handle on you and me.
I mean, just think about that for a second. What if you could just know? For any business, that's pretty much the holy grail, right? Not just guessing what people want, but truly, deeply knowing. And that right there is the huge promise of big data, turning this massive flood of information into a real understanding of what people actually need.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're gonna start with the sheer scale of the data problem. It's a real deluge. Then we'll get into what big data even means by breaking down its 5 key characteristics. After that, we'll check out one of the main tools for wrangling all this info, and then we'll tie it all together to see how it creates that complete picture of a customer.
First things first, let's talk about the problem itself. And really, we're not just talking about having a lot of information. We're talking about a constant, overwhelming flood of data that has most companies feeling like they're, well, drowning. The scale is just, it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. Every single clip, every search, every social media post, every time you buy something online, bam, it all creates data. We're generating trillions of gigabytes of this stuff every single day. And that is both an incredible challenge and, if you can figure it out, an immense opportunity.
So how on earth do you find the important signals in all of that noise? How do you possibly turn all that chaos into something clear and useful? Well, the answer is in a field called big data analytics. It's basically the science of digging through these massive digital haystacks to find the needles. You know, the hidden patterns, the surprising connections, and all the other good stuff. So what exactly is big data? This definition really gets right to it. It's data that's so massive and so complicated that, yeah, your normal software just can't handle it. Think about trying to open a file with 1,000,000,000,000 rows in your standard spreadsheet program. It would just give up, it'd freeze, crash, game over. To deal with this kind of information, you need a totally new playbook and a whole new set of tools. To really get what makes big data so, well, big and so different, it really helps to break it down into its core ingredients. You'll often hear people talk about these as the 5 V's. And these 5 ideas really define the challenges and opportunities we're dealing with here. Let's take a look. All right, the 5 V's, let's run through them. First, you've got volume. This is the one everybody thinks of, just the mind-boggling scale of it all. Next up, variety. And this one's huge. We're not talking about neat little tables anymore. We're talking about messy, unstructured stuff. Emails, photos, social media posts, sensor data from your watch. It's all over the place. Third is velocity. This is all about speed. The data is streaming in constantly, and you have to deal with it in near real time. Think about fraud detection. A bank has milliseconds to figure out if a credit card swipe is legit. Then you have veracity. Basically, can you trust the data? Is it accurate? Is it clean? Because, you know, garbage in, garbage out. Making sure the data quality is high is a massive challenge. And finally, variability. This means the meaning of data can change depending on the context. You know, like when someone texts you the word fine. Does that mean I'm okay or something totally different? Understanding that inconsistency is key. So if the traditional tools can't handle these 5 V's, what can? This is where some really clever technology comes into the picture. And one of the most important foundational tools for taming big data is something called Hadoop. So what is this Hadoop thing anyway? Well, it's an open source system designed to do 2 things really, really well: store and process massive data sets. And the key word there is efficiently. See, instead of needing one giant, crazy expensive supercomputer, Hadoop's genius is that it breaks a huge problem into smaller pieces and spreads them across hundreds or even thousands of regular computers, all working together as a team. It's the engine that makes handling that kind of scale possible. I love this analogy because it just makes it all click. Think of big data as this infinitely large, totally chaotic library with trillions of books just thrown in a pile. Trying to find one specific sentence would be impossible, right? Well, Hadoop is like a revolutionary cataloging system. It's like a team of super librarians that has already read every single book and can not only find that one sentence for you instantly, but also tell you how it connects to every other book in that massive library. It's what finds the patterns in all the chaos. Which brings us right back to the beginning. We have this overwhelming amount of data, and we have a tool that's powerful enough to process it. But why? Why go to all this trouble? What's the ultimate goal of all this work?
This, right here, this is the reason. The whole point isn't just to collect a bunch of disconnected data points. It's about connecting those dots. It's about seeing a customer not as a transaction number, but as a whole person with complex needs and wants. That word holistically is everything. It's about getting that complete 360-degree view.
And this is the payoff. I mean, when businesses can actually get that holistic view, they get much, much deeper insights. They can stop just reacting to what customers do and start actually anticipating what they'll need next. And that lets them improve their products, make their services better, and most importantly, build genuinely stronger, more helpful relationships with all of us.
So, the technology to listen to this absolute ocean of data is here. It's powerful, and it's getting more powerful every single day. But that leaves us with one last and maybe the most crucial question of all. Having the ability to listen is one thing, but knowing the right questions to ask, the ones that lead to real understanding and real improvement, well, that's the real challenge ahead. Now that we can listen to everything, what should we be asking?